Wurth USA is our featured supplier guest, and the topic is creating a profit silo. Let's bring on Chuck Pappas now to give some opening remarks. Chuck, take it away.
Well, welcome everyone. This afternoon, Mike Burke, who is the Key Accounts Manager at Wurth USA, is going to be presenting, and we're very proud to have him here. Shop supplies is going to be the topic today, a huge expense in the dealership space. But today, Michael's going to show us how to unlock a revenue stream from shop supplies. You're taking a look at the QR code that we have here. If you want to click on that QR code, we will send you a copy of this presentation as soon as we get it mounted up on our website. So it could take a day or two in that, but feel free to scan that QR code, and then we'll be glad to send you a copy of the webinar. After you review it again, I'm sure Michael and the Wurth USA team can answer any questions that you may have. You know, we started this webinar series about 3 years ago. In the course of doing all these webinars, we presented a wide variety of categories: audit recovery, shipping expenses, marketing analysis of your buyers, DMS systems, aircraft financing. Our most popular buy-sell webinars have really been a big hit, but we've also provided revenue categories so you could try to produce some money with some of the categories that you have. Everything that we present to you is all intended to reduce your expenses and improve your profitability. If you're new to the series, we encourage you to stay tuned and watch for additional ones that are coming up. With that, I'll turn this over to Michael. Michael, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it. And folks taking time out of your day to join us here and, go through this process. Greatly appreciated. I super appreciate your time. And just gaining control of a few things here. Please forgive me if I have to sip on some tea while we go through this process together. I seem to have developed either laryngitis or strep throat, of course, the day before this wonderful event. So, Chuck, thank you. Thank your team. You have a great team. I'm very familiar with working with the StrategicSource folks, and it's always a pleasure. So, again, thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And we'll kick this right off. So some of the things that we're going to review is, if you're not familiar with Wurth USA, is who we are and who we are globally and who we are locally. The benefits of using Wurth USA, of course. I am going to introduce a unique business solution to you, a couple of them anyways, very 35,000 foot view. And obviously you can get a hold of your StrategicSource partnership program provider, and we can set up a meeting for you to learn more, of course, and then what it looks like to implement a process with Wurth USA. So we started out today, one of the things that our engineer from StrategicSource indicated was we wanted to do a poll just to get a feel for who was in the audience. So let's take a look at who everybody is first. Great. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. One of the things that I like to share right away, and we're very proud of this, is if you're not familiar with Wurth, we are a multinational company with over 400 companies in 80 countries, right? 77,000 employees. Just take that in for a minute. 77,000 employees. I have a hard time getting 5 people to do what I need them to do, right? We have over 150,000 and growing products in stock. And we're an A-rated S&P company and growing daily. So that's the group as a whole globally. Very proud of that. And also family owned. For those who don't know, we're into our 3rd generation of successorship. And the original founder is, quite frankly, still in control in some form and fashion every day. Bringing it closer to home, right? Wurth USA. We have about 15 to 18,000 products in stock. We have 3 distribution centers strategically located in the USA. We have Ramsey, New Jersey, which is our flagship. That's our headquarters for North America. We also have Sparks, Nevada for the West Coast folks. And we have Orlando, Florida for our Southeast folks. And one of the key metrics that we like to follow is our fill rate. We're very proud of this. Our automotive divisional directors and the such do a really great job of making sure that our fill rates are well. Most folks are 1 to 2 days, next day, 1 day, 2 days out. And the fill rate, again, is about 95, 98, 98.5, right in that range. We're very proud of that. We service the industrial, commercial, and the automotive sectors within our silo. People might say, what does Wurth actually sell? It's what don't we sell? Everything underneath a lift and almost everything you would use as a consumable in that process, including your collision centers, if you have collision centers in your dealership groups. That's my background. I come from automotive refinish. I spent about 23 years with Akzo Nobel, Sikkens, and DuPont Automotive Finishes as a distributor, and very familiar with those operations. And my key role most of the time in my tenure there was to streamline processes and find better ways to accomplish goals and to develop some teamwork in that process. So very familiar with building teams and with helping folks control their costs mostly. Okay, so with the Strategic Source and the Wurth USA program, the initiative is essentially to get you a unified pricing program. That's number one. If you own 1 location, 2 locations, 100 locations, you'll often find that you could buy the same thing from the same vendor and pay a different price. So that's one of the things that we focus on exclusively is we have a vendor managed and a customer managed pricing group that is exclusive to Strategic Source, and all of your locations when enrolled, you will have a unified price program. So we got that out of the way. That's one of the biggest hurdles, honestly, in the shop supply world. It seems to be that the pricing is just all over the board. So we absolutely pay very close attention to that. We respect that. One of the other benefits of Wurth is we have very customized programs. We do not go to you with a cookie cutter. We first try to discover what your needs are first as a business person and look for opportunities where we can consolidate some of those vendors and perhaps consolidate even products where we can get 2 products narrowed down to 1 or 3 or 4 narrowed down to 1. We're all inclusive. We have everything from janitorial to tools, from the rugs to the rafters, right? We do have a centralized invoicing system. We've partnered with BillTrust. They're fantastic. It's an online center. And just to give you an idea, when our Wurth rep leaves your facility after placing an order, once that order is submitted, generally speaking, within 2 to 3 minutes, you can see that on BillTrust. That's how up to date it is, how active it is, and how interactive we are with BillTrust. And it also allows you to pay the invoice electronically as well. So we can eliminate some costs associated with that. You will get a standard dedicated customer service rep for Strategic Source for that alliance. We do offer centralized billing. That goes without saying. Most people understand that. Multiple locations. And of course, no freight, no fuel surcharges as a part of the Strategic Source program. So one of the things I'd like to ask in this poll are, what are some of the initiatives that your organization, or even if you're a member of Strategic Source, what are some of your initiatives that you would like to see in your world in 2024? So if you could just take a minute to fill that out, then we can disseminate that, right, and understand better our little audience here. And also, if you have questions, put them in the chat box. Oh, great. It's everything. I love it. That's what everybody wants. Reduce costs, gain control. I'm going to show you some things that are definitely going to assist us for sure. So it looks like it's pretty much split, and that all of these are important topics. So we're going to make sure we touch on that. So 30,000 feet, I'm going to offer you a couple of solutions. It's not going to take a lot of time, maybe less than 10 minutes. I'll have you pretty schooled up on what Wurth USA offers today for inventory management, right? And how we can get you connected within your organization to create a profit center for shop supplies. So the first that I like to mention is we are a fully integrated partner with CCC. If your organization has a collision center, or if there's a collision center on this call, or you have a prospect that is a collision center, chances are they use CCC as a business service for management, for estimating, and for insurance estimate submission. If they do use CCC, we are integrated, and I'll show you what that means in just a moment, but that's a really strong partnership and a great benefit to the StrategicSource Alliance. The second way that we control shop supplies and create profit silos is through our vending program. And believe it or not, yes, if you have seen a vending machine, then you know that this exists. If you have not, you're probably wondering, is that candy? No, it is definitely not. What we do is we take shop supply items that normally get missed on an invoice or a revenue opportunity that's often overlooked, and we break that supply down to its smallest increment. For example, a cutoff wheel. I'm just using this as a general, part or piece. They usually come in a pack of 50. We'll break those down to packs of 2 or 3, and we'll put them in little envelopes in those little slots in those slides in that vending machine. When the technician needs those items for their job, they have to enter their repair order or their pre-selected shop supply account number. And then they can select the product from the machine, and then the product is dispensed and back to work they go. No more hanging out at the parts counter waiting for a couple of cutoff wheels or some markers or some Sawzall bits or some glass cleaning. We can put hazmat protection in there. You can put eyewear, all types of odds and ends in shop supplies that normally just get written off as an expense. So you're probably asking right now, okay, great. So it's locked up. It's dispensed. They have to put an RO in. What exactly happens? In the background, our software, ORSI Connect, right? ORSI is German. It's an acronym for organizational systems. Our ORSI Connect software will provide you in an email repository, in a general box, or in someone's parts box, or an operations manager box, or anybody who's in charge of the repair order, an actual invoice. And it will be marked up so that you can enjoy a gross profit and a markup as well. And I'll get into showing exactly what that looks like, but that's what the software is connected to. And it also is connected to our bins and slide trays where we put, bulbs and fasteners and electrical components, nuts, bolts, grade 5, grade 8, stainless steel hardware. All of these parts and pieces to put these vehicles back together, in my opinion, they're a billable opportunity for your dealership or for your group, and we shouldn't overlook that. So when we create these opportunities, we manage the opportunities, and we provide you the opportunity to bill for those opportunities. Okay? Again, the way we typically will collect this data from a slide tray or a hardware bin is we can utilize what we call our kiosk, which has a Bluetooth scanner and an iPad that is provided to all StrategicSource customers, no charge. That's a loaned equipment piece that we provide you, and it will have the software preloaded. All we need is a Wi-Fi network. We can get you up and running in less than 15 minutes. The other way we collect data, if you don't want to do a loaned equipment agreement, is you can actually download our app, and you can put it on an iPhone or an Android, and you can collect the data, the RO, the parts and pieces that were used on the car, the chemicals that were used on the car, and create that invoice and get it shipped right over to your inbox. And of course, the most logical control method that we have is the vending, where products are actually locked up. The only way they can get them is to indicate a repair order or a job number. Again, select their product. They can select a couple of products and get right back to work. And then the repair order for billing is sent directly into an email repository, or in our case with CCC, right into the integration partner. So like I said, it's a really simple process. It's software that runs 24/7 in the cloud. You really have to do nothing. You literally just subscribe to Wurth USA with StrategicSource as a partner, and our engineers and myself, we handle everything from product selection and helping you gather what inventory you'd like to put in these devices and scan for and charge out for. It's a real simple process. The guys and gals scan in the back or use a vending machine. The invoice is created in the cloud, again, 24/7. And at the top and the bottom of every hour, it's sent into email inboxes. The invoice is received. It's already marked up. The typical markup for a StrategicSource customer will typically be about 65% GP, and that's at about 110% markup over cost. So it's a great GP. And that's just basic. And then of course you submit your invoice to your respective client, whether it be an insurance company, a direct repair, or an end user, right? It's all part of the makeup in the estimating and final bill process. So here's an example. Everyone's going to ask, what does this invoice look like? So it starts and originates with Wurth, of course, and it will have the sold to, which is your customer, you. It'll have your address, your name, your repair order that you worked on, and the date. It will also have the Wurth part numbers and a total, of course. And this invoice is the final invoice. It is not what you pay. This is just generated based on the repair order that the technician has indicated he or she is working on. And this provides you a invoice opportunity to share with your client. Pretty simple. If there are folks on here that have CCC, this is exactly where it goes. I love to show the collision centers exactly where we're located. We're in their parts tab. They're in there every day. They know this operation. They're very familiar with it. There is definitely benefits to this. Aftermarket credit. They do get, some double asterisks, meaning that it was generated within the system. It wasn't just desk written. So definitely benefits to the CCC Secure Share with collision centers for you StrategicSource folks that are calling on collision center groups. This is huge. Don't underscore this. This integration with CCC and the fact that it's automatic, we're one of a few that do this. And we're one of the very few that do it automatically without anybody having to do anything. So on the final bill, I know you have to get a microscope out to actually see this, but I like to show the collision center folks that it's actually double asterisked, and I usually blow this up and really hone in on it and show them that it was generated within the database. We're a trusted vendor and partner with CCC, and we have been for many, many years. And the last piece that I want to go over with you guys on the call is as a member or a joining member or a prospective member of StrategicSource, our organizational systems, our bins, our slide trays, our chemical cabinets, those are all provided to you folks on loaned equipment. We will make that investment in your database as we partner with you. We'd like you to be successful. We want you to be organized. We want to label things for you. We want them to be able to be scanned, to be reordered, to be charged out properly if you did desire to use Orsi Connect as a software provider for billing opportunities. So of course, the better organized we get you, the more profit we can help you make, And the better the relationship is, obviously, for everybody, right? We're not just a cost, we're actually a partner. So what does implementation look like, right? I told you that I would go over what next steps look like. If you are interested or you have a client that's interested, let's do a exact webinar just like this for them. I usually ask, of course, some questions about their facilities and what their goals are, but implementation and training is very fluid. We usually move this around a little bit based on what their strategic initiatives are for the year. But essentially, we agree on a timeline. We agree on some dates. We get a dateline established for local visits. We get you integrated with ORC Connect and potentially with CCC. We schedule installation and training. Everything is dated and committed to. We order your bins and your cabinets. We get your labels, very important. The most important, in my opinion, we get your labels and your schematics for scanning, so you're able to build this product out. And then we set up training. We have a fantastic engineer that's assigned specifically to StrategicSource. David Lehman's been with us 20 plus years, and he is definitely well-versed in the ORC Connect process and works right along with most of our integration partners. So you'll get a dedicated Wurth tech support line, and we'll get you set up usually 30 to 45 days, and you're converted to Wurth, and we're off and running. So that's the process, and that's our software, and that is how we create profit silos. It's very simple, it's very unique, and it's customizable to everyone's situation. You may have just 10 or 15 parts that you would like to create a billable opportunity for through us. We can set you up for that. You might want to go with a full-blown vending machine where you want all of your shop supplies under control and vended. We can also accommodate that. And again, it is a very unique opportunity. It's ever changing as it's evolving with technology. And I appreciate the opportunity to present this to you.
Okay, thanks, Michael. And
yeah, you're very welcome.
Reminding everyone to ask questions via the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Those will come straight to us, and we'll cover as many as we can during the remaining time. So here's one. It says, I own collision centers, and I do utilize CCC for all my estimates and final bills to insurance. What would the monthly cost be to integrate ORC Connect to my shops?
I get that question often. That's a really good one. Thank you for sharing that one. CCC and Wurth USA currently offer this to end users at no charge. Now, is that subject to change? Perhaps. It's CCC, right? If you know CCC, you understand that they usually give a 30-day notice, and then you get a little surprise. But at this point, we've had a nice run with CCC for about 7-8 years, and we've offered this as a no charge to our customers. Certainly with StrategicSource and our alliance, this is a no charge item for integration. Even the software, the ORC Connect software, that is a no charge to the end user item as well. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's part of our value add for StrategicSource. Great question.
Yeah. All right, here's another. I like the vending control solution. Do you have a sample template of products we can put in a machine?
Yeah, definitely another good one. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. So, yes, we do actually for all types of industries. We have templates for collision services. We have templates for industrial, agricultural, right? And we have, of course, collision center, which is the big one. But we do have about 400 or 500 of these machines in various scales all over the United States. And, we can find a like kind quality folk just like your situation usually, and we can provide you with a good sampling of what folks are locking up and what they're controlling and creating profit initiatives with. Great question.
Again, everyone can use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And that's how you connect with anything you want to know with our remaining time. Here's another. Did you say that vending can send an invoice for products that I can share with my client? And if yes, what is my markup?
Oh, okay. So you must have missed that one. That's good. I'll reiterate. Another great question. So the markup is set by us in the back office when we set you up. And we typically set markup at 100%. So that correlates, of course, to about a 60, maybe a 55% GP. A StrategicSource Alliance customer typically buys a little bit less because there are some discounts built into that pricing structure, of course, and they can actually realize probably in the neighborhood of 60 to 65% markup. 60 to 65% GP. It's about 115. And you work with your engineer, right? When they first set you up, he'll ask you a myriad of questions, email addresses, different contact information, markup on chemicals. He'll banter back and forth and share with you what the industry sees, what keeps you below list, what the GP can be offered to you. And typically with a StrategicSource partnership, again, it's about 115%, 60 to 65%. So a nice markup margin in there for the client for sure. And it works really well. And at the very least, you get the opportunity to control the shop supplies.
I'm not seeing any other questions come in,
Pretty
Michael.
thorough.
So yes. So let's bring on Chuck. And Chuck, you can come on with any questions and conclude this portion and get ready for the next segment of our webinar.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chuck. And thank you, folks, for attending.
I'm pretty sure all of you have invested quite a lot of money in your shop supplies. So I would definitely encourage you to contact Michael and the Wurth USA team to find out how to unlock that revenue stream in the shop supplies that you have. Michael's contact is on this slide right here for you to look at. So you can get a hold of him there. Shortly, there'll be there you go, our QR code that's there again. That'll be up on our website in a day or two, but if you scan this and put your information in it, we'll make sure that you get a copy of this webinar right away. How much money are you leaving on the table? For anyone who's thinking about their expenses right now, you got to be thinking about this because most dealerships are overspending on supplies and services by 25% each month. There's about 150 different category options for you out there where you can spend money on. Most dealers, though, probably spending about 100 of those. We know that dealers are spending, from all of our research and all of our clients that we've had, they're spending about 5% of sales on indirect expenses. If you're a $100 million dealership, that 5% equates to about $5 million. 25% of that looks like $1,250,000, and that is exactly what you can save working with StrategicSource. It's putting your own money back into your own pocket. 95% of our dealerships, of the dealerships across the United States, have decentralized purchasing. Many people are doing purchasing from different sites and different places, so the consistency of your purchasing makes it really tough to do that. We can be your purchasing partners, so just think about that. Business problem. Business problems. There's too many categories that we know that you dealers are all short-staffed. Typically, there's not a plan to really attack those categories. StrategicSource has a lot of experience in cost reduction analytics. Last year, we completed over 2,300 sourcing projects at the expense categories used by dealerships. So we know the money that you can save. Dealers are typically overpaying their suppliers by 25%, as we said. There's a broad scope of categories. There's too many suppliers to manage and too many supplier invoices to process. Too few discounts are taken because you don't always know that they're available. So the question becomes, how do we simplify that? If you look at the opportunity estimate on this is a very valuable slide and something that you can kind of put right on your desk. It goes right into your pocket. For the different annual sales revenues of 25, 50, 75, 300 million, you go all the way down to the bottom. Working with StrategicSource, that is the monthly savings of your own money that you can put right back into your pocket. Just touching on our expense category scopes. There are 72 general purpose categories. And if you're a dealership, a church, a manufacturer, it doesn't matter. If you're a company and you're a service provider, you're likely to spend money in these 75 categories. If you own your facility or you're leasing it, you're probably paying for these 15 facility related categories that can also be included right there. For you automotive dealers, here's 56 automotive dealer categories, and a lot of these are in the scope of work, and they're quite large, but this is what you're spending. But if you take these categories and the other ones that we showed you, there's like 130 to 150 categories. Makes it a little bit overwhelming on all of the categories you have to pick from and where you're going to spend your money. Our StrategicSource solutions, and we have some solutions that can help. Our profit improvement program. We have a profit improvement program that manages the process of conducting a financial analysis, spend category planning, expense category sourcing. We implement those categories, we review them, and we even audit those. The problem StrategicSource solves and helps you correct are high expenses and broad supplier bases. Those are the things that we attack. Our strategic spend analysis. This is another tool, and it's our strategic spend analysis. This is a more strategic, broad look at our expenses. We analyze them, we put them in the correct category buckets, and we build a plan for you to execute. Client benefits, it's organized and it's a prioritized plan. It's got a good staffing tool to help you be able to get this done. And it's all geared at cost reductions of 25%. Our contract tracker. Contract tracker tool, most dealers have an incredible number of contracts, and to keep current and manage all of those things can be a daunting task. Our benefits for the client are keeps contracts visibility. It advances the alerts on expiration dates so you know well in advance when it's going to expire. Risk mitigation. You may be looking at those contracts and figure that they have to be renegotiated before the time frame runs out on you to do something with that or the renewal comes into place. So I encourage you to look at Contract Tracker. Our spend management suite. Our spend management suite solves the problems of poor staffing, no contract management, high prices for what you're paying for, and weak profits. The benefits to our clients is that it's a strategic focus. It tracks all of your contracts. It improves the pricing that you can get items for, and it increases your profit. Spend management, coaching, and learning, because we do a lot of that. And we do a lot of spend management. We can train your staff to do the kinds of things that we do. Expense Edge. Expense Edge is another one of our tools. And this is created from a database of thousands of price comps, kind of like similar to Home Depot. We provide the tools and solutions for you to get the work done, and we give you the data points to keep your costs down. Spend management learning. Our spend management learning, simply put, we can teach your team to do what we do. And we've trained many, many folks. We do many webinars a year on purchasing 101, 102, 103, and we can help you develop the skills that your staff needs to do that sourcing. Copies of, again, hopefully this presentation was helpful for you today. Again, scan this QR code and we'll get the information to you right away. Thanks again to Michael Burke from Wurth USA for his presentation today. We think that was great. As a special note, just as a reminder to all of you, StrategicSource does not take any type of compensation from any of our suppliers. We know them, we vetted them, and we know that what kind of a work product they have and that they can be competitive. So we encourage all of you to take a deeper look at our supplier offerings that we have and know with confidence that you're going to get the best price you can. Thanks again for attending today. We really appreciate it. Look for another innovative supplier or profit improvement webinars that are coming up. Take it away, Dave.
Thank you, Chuck, and thank you, Michael. Let's bring up the post-session survey. We'd love to get your feedback on what you thought here, spending our time and learning all that you did. So there you have it. We appreciate everyone's time, and we look forward to you joining us on future Profit Improvement Series webinar events with StrategicSource. Thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the week.